I have a hard time dealing with people who don't grow. That's what this place is. It's a growth. This is about, look at the grass. I really have a hard time. I remember when I first got in a church and everybody was sitting on the pew for 20 years and they had not grown. It's like, what in the world? They just don't grow. I don't care how they're growing, they grow some way. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. People don't grow. They stay stuck in this little weird paradigm where they think they're okay because they're just stuck. They're in comfort zone and they don't grow. I just can't think like that. I don't understand it. There's always new skills to learn, new trades, there's always something new to learn. I just don't get it. Can somebody help me? I really think if you're sons of God, daughters of God, that means you're a child of God, and a child is growing. That's why we're here. If I had to go through this stoplight every day and not learn stuff like deep spiritual object lessons and truths, if I wasn't learning deep spiritual truths on a daily basis, I'd get on that bridge over there and jump off. How do people do it? And the only thing I can figure is they have to do drugs, they have to drink, they have to do something to take away the monotonous. If you see this strip of road for 1,000 times, unless you're wise to do evil, if you're not growing, you're going down. I just can't. I'm in a way I'm venting, but in a way I'm not really. It doesn't really bother me anymore. I just can't talk to them. I just walk away. I just can't. You can walk up to somebody within 5 minutes. Is there a light on? Is there a light? Is there some kind of light? When you look them in the eyes, is there some kind of light? Are they dead? Are they zombies? Are they closed-minded? Can they think outside their box? If they can't think outside their box, I just walk away. I just can't do it anymore. I tried my whole life to knock people out of their slumber and their sleep, and I don't even waste my time anymore. I don't know if anybody else experiences this or not, but if I say, look at that tree, it represents something else. Tree, true, faithful faith. That tree represents faith. And somebody can't hear that. It's like, that's elementary. Why does it represent faith? Because it's faithful, full of faith. It's upright. It's standing. What does the word faith mean? You stand. Why does faith mean you're standing? Because you walk by faith, not by sight. That which is seen is made by the unseen. Vanilla shake and a large ice water. Yeah. If I say to somebody, look at these bricks, and they're all in series, they all look the same. In order to build a building or build anything, you have to have a pattern. Does that make sense? And they say, what are you talking about? It's like, all right, I gotta go. Bye. See ya. I ain't got time for this. If I say to somebody, hey, I did the research and fasting will save your life. It will cure all kinds of stuff. It will actually cure diabetes, cancer, neuropathy, gout, pain in your joints. You'll have no pain if you start doing fasting. I did and I actually lived it. I actually lived it out. You'll feel better. And they don't really hear what I'm saying. They don't hear me. I say, all right, I'll see you. I walk away. I've lived it, I've experienced it, I've done the test, for a year. I promise you, fasting, not only does fasting help you physically, but it helps you spiritually, and it also helps you to break strongholds. So let's say somebody's dealing with something, and I say, well, why don't you do some fasting to break that stronghold? Thank you. I say, well, why don't you do some fasting to break that stronghold? If you can break a meal or 2 meals, then you can break anything. Because hunger is your biggest. Hunger is your biggest. What's the word I'm looking for? Hunger is the biggest human thing to overcome, right? If you can break the hunger cycle, you can break any cycle. I'm not being mean. I'm just being honest. It's time. I mean, see, the TV has put people to sleep. I don't know the last time. I haven't had a TV in 30 years, probably. I got rid of my TV a long time ago. The music puts people to sleep. The TV puts the news, the media, the drama, it puts people to sleep. Like when I watch a series, I'm watching the Superman Lois series right now. I'm not watching it for entertainment. It does have some entertainment, but I'll watch a scene. I'll think about the types and shadows, the object lessons, how it relates, how it can fit inside the Bible, you know. Right now, there's this one lady, she's wanting to merge the alternate universe with the alternate earth with this earth, because she's saying if the people merge together, they become like gods or whatever. Now that goes back to Genesis 3. Hath God said, you'll know good and evil, you'll be like gods, right? So it's the same story in Genesis 3 that they're playing out in the Superman series that I'm watching. I know the series is probably there for a while, I never watched it before. So the Gnostics in the New Age, and they want to combine their good and bad side and expect them to get along. But the Bible's very clear that your bad side has to die. You can't merge good and evil. See, the whole world system wants to merge good and evil. You can't merge good and evil. And God had to put the 2 swords in the Garden of Eden because God loves the human. God wouldn't want you to live in the flesh mind forever. Those who burn in hell forever, that's their choice. But God wants you to live in the spirit. And if Bill Gates and all them can make a machine man and upload people's consciousness to the computer, you think God is happy with that? No, I don't think they could do it. But if they could, you would be a machine man forever in the flesh. And there's a Doctor Who series where that's what happened to one of his people, and it broke his heart because he said I was supposed to protect her, right? And so he felt like he let her down. But anyway, she ended up becoming she ended up escaping another way. But anyway, super creature or something. She became a spiritual being or something. So, but my point is this. You can't merge the good and the evil. You can't merge the sheep and the goat. You can't do it. You're going to have it's like a 2-headed monster, you know. You just can't do it. You can't yoke. That's why in Genesis, don't yoke up with Cain lineage, and don't yoke up with the Gentiles. He told the Jewish, the elect saints in the New Testament, don't yoke up with the unbelievers. Millenniums, everything, it's going to be the same every age until there's a new heaven and new earth, because you can't yoke up with evil. He says, God forbid that righteous and unrighteous yoke together. And I guess that's what it comes down to. I can't even talk to them. If they're a goat, there are some goats that have they are like little children. They're learning. I think they're being pulled. They're growing, but they're not growing towards Christ necessarily. But they're seeing past the 3D. But at least they have some kind of light in their mind that you can talk to them about stuff. But there's a lot of sheep that are not saved yet that are being pulled. And you can see the light in their eyes. You can see the enlightenment. You can see that they're being pulled. I do the ride share. And if I get somebody in my car who's like 18, 20, 25, something like that, and I talk to them and they got a light, I'll talk to them. But usually that's very few, like 1 out of 100. But if you get somebody in your car, maybe it's 1 out of 5, because it seems like at least once a day or every other day there's some people have a little bit of light this trying to flicker up. It's trying to light. The candle's trying to light, it's like a flicker. And so, but it's 1 in 100 that are actually really awake that see through this whole thing. Maybe 1 in 1,000. But the ones who are being pulled, they're like, when you start to talk to them about the deeper things, they're like, their jaw drops, and like some of them I've talked to, they said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm just like you. The only difference is I just meditate on this truth. I meditate on the truth 24/7, 7 days a week. That's what I do." I said, "I'm just like you. The truth's right in front of us. There's the sign. The signs are everywhere. There's the bridge. There's the bridge going from the darkness to the light. There's a bridge right in front of you all the time." I can't really talk about this kind of stuff, what I'm getting ready to say, with an Uber rider, unless they're already saved. But he that hath the Son hath life, but he that hath not the Son hath not life, and the wrath of God abides on him. So God's wrath is on the unbeliever. It abides on them. And if the wrath of God is on you, I would be doing everything I could. Say, "Lord, I don't want to be under your wrath. What do I have to do? Help me. I don't want to be an enemy of God. I want to be a friend of God, my Creator. How can I be an enemy of my Creator?" That's like a dog. If the dog bites the hand that feeds it, that dog is sick. It needs to be put down or given away. My ex, we were at the ocean. She went under. She was behind me, and she bumped into my leg or something. I reached down and grabbed her just by reflex. I didn't know she said, "I was drowning. I was being pulled under. You saved my life. You saved my life." Really? I didn't know I saved your life. You would think somebody like that would be loyal to you to the end. But nope. Goes back to the dog. The dog bites the hands that feeds it. Those people, if they can't be loyal to you in that extreme, they need to go. I mean, if you save somebody's life and then they start to try to kill you, I mean, come on. You save somebody's life and they turn around and try to kill you. There's actually an episode on that, on the Superman. And his brother ended up saving his life, Superman steps. If you really think about the Superman series, the script writers of Superman, I want you to really think about this. And this is what I'm talking about. You should always be learning from everything, even from a script from a Superman show, Superman TV series. So the script writers, they always portray Superman. He's loyal to the human race, not necessarily America or China or Russia or anything like that. He's loyal, and he's not going to take sides. And actually, when somebody attacks him, he just puts them back in their place. He doesn't hold a grudge. He doesn't attack them back. He might have to defend himself. But even after he's stops them from attacking him, he can become their friend and forget the past. The past don't matter anymore, because that person, he knows that the human is weak. And so if you want the mindset of a Superman, unforgiveness is not Superman. Bitterness is not Superman. You got to be free. You got to rise above this thing. When Superman rises above and floats above the ground, that's what you got to do. So you're interacting down here with something. You got to float above this situation and look at it from the outside in. For real. Okay, let's say a witch attacks me, right? And I've had them attack me, and they never stop. Am I mad at them? No. I actually had like 2 or 3 of them over across the street for about a year. Haitian from Haiti, 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 and that's a lot of witchcraft in there, right? And I heard them one time. They didn't think I could hear them, and the guy said, "Well, how long is it going to take?" Because I guess they were trying to destroy me, you know. How long is it going to take? She said, "Just be patient." Because it's something they said. How long is it going to take for him to be something? I could just tell they were talking about it. Now, I could have been paranoid, but I don't think I was, because the way they were acting and the way they were hackling and cackling and all that stuff. You can actually tell a witch's laugh, because it's like a cackling sound. You just have to be aware of your surroundings all the time. So anyway, they didn't know that I'm covered by the blood. And and the way I know this, because if you take the data points your whole life, and you think about what people said your whole life. I had a friend of mine said, he said, well, they can't, just out of the blue, I mean, just talking about something and just randomly said this. I don't even think he knew he said it. He said, well, they can't take you out. How do you keep going? Something like that. I'm thinking, where did that come from? And I didn't really catch it back then, but I look back 20 years later. How do you keep going? They can't take you out. I thought, oh, they've been trying to take me out. I put all the data points. The ex couldn't take me out. She couldn't take me out. Other people, they couldn't take me out. Why? Because I'm covered by the blood. God has a calling. God sustains. What do you mean? They want you depressed. They want you jumping off a bridge. They want you discouraged. They want, and then even somebody said, well, you won't like doing Uber. What are you talking about? I enjoy it because I get to be, most of the time I'm by myself. I might have to ride with some goats, but I try to witness to them, you know. It's not like directly, you know. You have to be careful what you say when you're working. But they're trying to take you out. If you're a sheep, they want to take you out. And they're going to keep sending agents till the day you die, most likely. Even if you're in the nursing home, there's going to be somebody coming over and trying to take you out. And the reason I know this is because I know that I know that I know. And you might not believe this, but their whole game is to get you in the flesh mind, because the king of the flesh is the devil, the king of Tyre. And if you get in the flesh mind, he can read your mind. The king of Tyre, if you walk in the flesh, he can read your mind. But if you walk in the spirit, they can't touch you. So the whole purpose of these agents coming into your world is try to get you in the flesh mind, because they want to see in the holy sea. They want to see in the holy sea. They want to see in, get you in the flesh mind, what you're afraid of, what you're worried about, whatever. And so if you're in that state of being, the universe, and when I say they can read your mind, I'm not necessarily saying they read exact mind, but the universe is going to reflect back the flesh mind, and the demons, the devil, he can look at the reflections. You reap what you sow, so you sow what you reap, right? you reap what you sow, so you're going to sow what you want to reap. So if you're in the flesh mind, you're going to sow it back. So the spirit realm, seeing what's reflecting back, they can read your mind by what's reflecting back. Really. You might not believe that, but it's true. Because it's a book. If you open a book and just read the book, if somebody says turn to page 39 and read that book, what does it say? You read it, there it is. Well, the spirit realm sees this as a book. And so they just open the book and say, okay, this is what he needs. This is what he's dealing with. God can read your heart because it's an open book to God. And God will actually allow the devil to cut the flesh out. If there's a problem in the flesh, God will use the devil to cut out your flesh. But he will use the spirit to sharpen the spirit. So the flesh is being cut out, the spirit is being sharpened. Everything's revealed. There's nothing hidden to God. God sees it all. It's your book. Your heart is like an open book. And this whole thing is about surgery on your heart. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow all the issues of life. So out of your heart flows everything out. And so it's reflecting back right here. Doesn't matter if you believe me or not. I really don't care. I'm telling you the truth. It's a reflecting. Why do you think people go to a pond and they call them reflecting ponds? Why do you think people build reflecting ponds? There's a reason people build reflecting ponds. So you build a pond over here and you go sit down there to reflect because it's reflecting off. So your mind, you're sitting there meditating or thinking or contemplating, whatever, up in front of a reflecting pond, but you can see yourself in the pond. You just look over the pond, see yourself. All this is a reflecting pond. That's probably full of sugar, but it's been a while. I started taking Berberine, Berberine. That's the deal right there. And also creatine. Creatine seems to be the deal too. Berberine and creatine. Do the research. It's real. Tree bark extract, cinnamon extract. Those things are the key to this. Keeping everything's, you want to keep the sine wave. You don't want these high extremes with the sine wave. And the same true with your insulin. You don't want it to be extremes. You want it just to be as steady as possible. If you want to really regulate your blood sugar stuff, if you eat every 12 hours instead of every 4 hours, you're going to see a big difference. If you eat every 14 hours, you're going to see an even bigger difference. If you just eat every 14 hours, boom, boom, you're going to be. And if you eat every 16 hours, that's even more powerful. Your growth hormones are going to kick in. A lot of people, they'll eat 2 meals a day, or they'll eat 3 meals a day in a certain window and do the 16-hour fast, 16 to 8. Some people eat 2 meals a day, and some people eat 1 meal a day. But you got to get all those nutrients in those meals, and that's kind of hard. But if you were to eat liver pudding and eggs, and if you eat 2 meals a day and do a 14-hour fast every day, you're gonna feel like Superman. What's the purpose of this? Life, what is the purpose of this message? Life has to be more than just getting up out of bed, going to work, cleaning your car, moving boxes around. I mean, if you really think about what most people are doing, they're just moving stuff around. They're moving their paperwork. They're moving their boxes. They're moving their clothes. They're moving to another house. They're moving their stuff to a shed. When they mow the yard, they're moving the grass, cutting it and moving it. They're raking it. It's like moving stuff around. Life has to be more than that. And if life is not more than that, and all you're doing is moving stuff around, moving clothes around, going to get groceries, bringing a box, ordering some box from Amazon or box from Walmart or whatever, some store. If you're just getting boxes shipped to your house and you're going from a box house to a box car to a box business, and you're ordering food in a box and everything's a box and everything's just moving product, you're just moving stuff around. Life has to be more than that. No wonder people go through midlife crisis. Life is more than eating and drinking down here. If you can get rid of, you want to break a stronghold, you want to break an addiction, stop drinking and eating for 8 hours. See what happens. And if you can't stop drinking, stop eating for 16 hours. Do a 24-hour fast. It won't kill you. Drink some water. It won't kill you, I promise. Do it. If you want to break a stronghold, do a 24-hour fast. And then you say, oh, that was easy. I can do anything now. How bad do you want to be free? How bad do you want to be free from an addiction, a habit, a thought process, a person, a narcissist, a psychopath, a worried state of mind? How bad do you want to be free? Well, if you want to be free bad enough, you'll start doing some fasting and praying and doing some research and transforming your mind into the new mind, the higher mind, and get free. But if you keep doing the same thing over and over, that's insanity. It just ain't going to help you. It ain't going to help. And if it ain't helping you, it ain't helping nobody else. If you're not helping yourself, you can't help anybody else. But if you help yourself and transform yourself, you can help other people. I did an Uber another day. A guy was blind. It's a service. It helped. It's helping the blind. It's helping people whose car breaks down. It's helping people get to work, get to the doctor, get to the hospital. It's a service to help others. But if I don't change the oil, maintain the car, I can't help anybody. So I have to maintain my ship first to help other people. If you can get that in your mind, just that one little truth I just said, it will change your whole life, because it won't be about you anymore. It won't be about you. It'll be about helping other people. Now, when you help somebody, you do help yourself. But when you help yourself, you help other people. It's a reciprocal reality, a reciprocating reality. It's real. Now, I don't know that lady, but I knew her parents. And she came over here when I built this fence. She came over and walked in, didn't even ask me if she could come in my yard or anything. She just walked in like she owned it or something. Now that I think about that. That was a few years ago. Now she won't do it. But just to think about where she thought she could cross boundaries, that mindset in that kind of person is dangerous. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here just talking, and I'm thinking about a lot of the situations 20, 30 years ago, people who were living there, the guy was a deacon. The only reason he was a deacon because he was a millionaire. He didn't know the Bible, and he actually rejected the Bible. But he was a deacon because he had money. And I'm thinking about all the situations that I've observed, the life lessons I've observed just looking across the street. There's this house, every couple years there's a new people living there. And the life lessons I've learned just sitting back observing will blow your mind if I told you some of the stuff I've seen. It would blow your mind. This house right here beside me one time, this is a long time ago, these women got in a fight and over some guy or something. And they were out in the street right here, pulling each other's shirt and pants off out here fighting in the street. This was even before YouTube. And I was sitting here thinking, have y'all lost y'all's mind? And why didn't the guy come out and stop them? That's what I want to know. This is before YouTube, stuff like that. It's like, why didn't, if they're fighting over him, why didn't he come out and stop them? Because he didn't care. They were fighting over somebody that didn't even care about them. I've seen some serious stuff just sitting here in the driveway. I've seen some crazy stuff. Why can't you grow? The life lessons are everywhere, right in front of you. Why are you still stagnated? Why aren't you growing? It's hitting you 24/7, 7 days a week. Why stagnate? There's no reason to stagnate. None whatsoever. Stagnation shouldn't even be a part of your world at all. You should be in the flow all the time. Because without the flow, you're dead. The blood has to flow in your body, and so everything else has to flow. And your thoughts have to flow. And if you're not growing, and if you're not renewing the mind, why? And I'm not talking about the wokes. Those people are not growing. They're woke. No, they're not. They're worse. They're in a bigger box than they even know. I'm talking about real growth. Biblical. Study Proverbs, study Psalms. There's so much truth in those books, it's just not even funny. In the book of Proverbs, it'll protect. If you study the book of Proverbs, it'll protect you. It really will. You'll be able to profile the evil man, the evil woman, the evil person in your environment. They can't hide from it. Read the book of Proverbs, and you'll be able to see the drug dealer. You'll be able to see the prostitute. You'll be able to see the thief. You'll be able to see them because the pattern is secure. It's not going to be changed.